Hey, folks, here we are starting our 1979 Thurman Munson Memorial. Um, Thurman Munson, known as the Walrus, um, he passed in 1979. Trying to adjust the camera just a little bit here, get everything in focus, and so on. And he passed away in 1979, August 2nd, in a plane crash in, I believe it was Canton, Ohio, or it was Akron, Ohio. I have to double check that. But he was practicing landing and takeoffs with a couple of friends, and the plane went down on one of the landings, and he was stuck on the plane, and the plane caught fire. The two passengers survived, and they kind of were able to drag themselves out of the plane. They tried to pull Munson from the wreckage and were unable to, and just the fire became too dangerous, and they had to rush away from the plane. So from the testimony, it seems that Munson's neck was broken in the crash. So it's pretty tragic, pretty sad. And we're playing the last 10 games in July 1979 that Thurman Munson, the Walrus, the captain, the only Yankee player ever to win Rookie of the Year and an MVP award. He was a 7-time All-Star. He played 11 seasons for the Yankees. He had a .292 career batting average. He wore number 15. And he's behind the plate today. I noticed that in the last 10 games, he played first base, he DH'd, and he was behind the plate. Today, he's behind the plate. And we're using I score over to our right. We're using payoff pitch. We are in the top of the 7th inning. The Mariners are in New York. It's a day game. It's game number 93, I believe. I believe it's game number 96. And what's unusual about this game, it's played on July 22nd, and it's a Sunday. And it's the first game of a 2-game series between the Seattle Mariners and the Yankees. And then after that, it will be California coming into New York. And then after that, it'll be New York going to Milwaukee and Chicago. So let's get started with the game, or continue with the game. We're on the top of the 7th. The score is 0-0. Both starting pitchers are still in there. It's both left-handers. It's Don Hood versus Rick Honeycutt for the Mariners. So it's Don Hood on the mound for the Yanks, and he's going to check in for the sign and pitch to Willie Horton. Willie Horton, the veteran right-hander, DHing for the Mariners. And that's going to be a 7. And that's going to in play. We're going to look at the in play versus lefty here. And it's a 49. A 49 goes outside of that range and goes into the out range. And it's going to be a ground ball hit to Fred Stanley. Fred Stanley up with it across the diamond and gets Horton easily, who does not run that well. So 1 away. Let's roll for Hood against Danny Meyer. Steps in. He's a left-hander, third baseman. And it's an 11. That's defense. We're going to roll defense. I do this a little bit differently. Try to avoid the charts. Say 22. So here we're going to have to look at the charts. The charts. We're going to look and see it's a range. 22 in the range. It may be a hit. Well, it's going to be a hit no matter who, you see, so I don't have to look at anybody. So I'm just going to find out. Actually, it's center field range. So the center fielder, despite of it doesn't really matter what he is, we rolled so low that's going to be a hit no matter what. Now, we do have to check and see what kind of hit, and the next card in the fast action cards will tell us that. So it's a hit to the outfield. It's a single, runners advance 2 bases, but no, there's no runners on, so it's going to be a single. And Danny Meyer reaches first, and that's the 3rd hit of the game for the Mariners. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Hood is going to pitch to Tom Paciorek. Paciorek is the right fielder for the Mariners. He struck out and grounded out today. Here's the pitch, it's going to be an in play, a ball in play, and that's an 88, an in play 88 is a ground ball to short. Let's see if it's between within or below both ranges. We rolled an 8. The DP range for Hood is a 10. The DP range for Pechoric is a 6. So that's going to be a fielder's choice, a 6-4. Bucky Dent flips to Randolph, and Randolph does not attempt to throw to first base. But that's going to be out number 2. And Pechoric's on at first. Next is Bill Stein. Stein is flied out and singled. He's 1 for 2. And it's a 6. And that's a tough off Hood. And we're going to see a tough pitch, see what Stein can do with it. It's a 69. Tough 69 takes us to the out range. And that's going to be a fly ball lifted to center. Bobby Mercer in center field pounds his glove and makes the catch. Makes it look easy out there. And the Mariners lead 1, score none, no errors, and we go to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th. It's going to be Roy White leading it off. It's going to be White, Chambliss, and Stanley against the lefty Rick Honeycutt. And that's an 8. That's going to be an in play. And it's a 39. In play 39 takes us to the out range, and that's going to be a ground ball hit right at Bruce Bochy. And he takes it himself for out number 1. So Roy White goes back to the dugout. Let's take a seat. Chris Chambliss, 5, patient. And it's a 69, patient 69, again, out range. And that's a ground ball hit at Mario Mendoza. Mendoza fires it to first, 2 away. And Fred Stanley, right hitting utility guy, third baseman for the Yanks, playing third today. And here's the pitch from Honeycutt. It's a ballpark. So we're going to roll to C. He's a right-handed batter, so it's 1-42 for it to be wheelhouse, and it's an 18, so it is a wheelhouse. And against a lefty, Fred Stanley actually has a really good number here, 1-45. That ball's out of here for the only run of the game if he can connect. So let's see what happens. We need a 1-45 for a home run here for the first run of the game in the bottom of the 7th with 2 out. So that's a deep drive, and it falls in front of Rupert Jones, and Stanley rounds first, but stays at first with a single. So Fred Stanley on with 2 outs here, singles to center. Bucky Dent now, 9, and that's going to be patient. And that's a 12. A patient 12 is a base on balls. So Honeycutt loses Dent first and second here with 2 outs. So the bullpen is going for the Mariners. Bullpen is going for the Mariners. That's a 7. Tough. So it's a tough on Willie Randolph, the right-handed batter, second baseman for the Yanks. And that's going to be a 28. A tough 28 is a, let's pull a card here. It's a grounder up the middle to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Runner on second, comes around third, and Fred Stanley's going to score. And Bucky Dent, if he's a 6, he's going to make it all the way to third. And he is a run speed 5, so he stops at second. So it's an RBI single. The Yanks take the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. And Willie Randolph, with that hit up the middle, drives in the only run of the game. And Rick Honeycutt now facing the lefty Bobby Mercer. Mercer has struck out twice and hit a line drive. And runs on first and second, 2 outs. And Bobby Mercer, the batter, so it's going to be an 8 in play off of Honeycutt. In play, the swing, Mercer 39, in play 39 is going to take us to the out range. And that's going to be a grounder to the first baseman, Bruce Bochy. and he handles it himself for out number 3. But the Yanks pick up a run here, and they lead it by a score of 1-0 going to the top of the 8th inning. In the top of the 8th, it's going to be Larry Cox, the catcher, Mario Mendoza, the shortstop, and then the top of the lineup, Leon Roberts, the left fielder, all facing Don Hood. So here's the pitch from Don Hood, and that's a 7 in play. So we're going to look at the in play versus a lefty, and that's a 44 in play 44. That takes us to the out range, and that's a ground ball hit to Fred Stanley in third. To his left, guns it to first, gets Stein. I'm sorry, that should have been Cox. Let's do that. Let's correct that. Let's look. It was a 7. It was in play 44 in play. Still 44. Yep, same thing. All right, Mario Mendoza now, and that's a 9. Patient. It's a patient 52, and that's going to be in the out range. And that's a ground ball again to Stanley. Scoops it over to first. That's 2 away. And it's Leon Roberts. We are 1-0 here in the top of the 8th with 2 outs. Hood on the mound for the Yanks. And at the plate is the right-hitting outfielder, left fielder for the Mariners, Leon Roberts. And that's a 4. That's going to be in play. And that's a 72. And in play 72 takes us to the out range. And that's going to be a fly ball lifted to center field. Mercer, a couple steps back, but corrals it. And that's out number 3. We're at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, 161st Street off the D train, in case you're thinking about coming down. We're here again tomorrow, Monday. This is the first game of a 2-game set, and it starts on a Sunday, which is unusual. I've never seen that before. I did a double take when I saw that. So it's going to be Rick Honeycutt facing the Walrus, the captain, Thurman Munson. So Munson is grounded out twice and then hit a line drive out. So he's 0 for 3. And in play, so Munson here, we're going to look at in play. 1-30 is going to be a hit. 1-30, and that's an 88. So no chance of that being a hit. It's a hard hit ground ball to Mendoza, the shortstop. And he throws out Munson. Now, Munson won the Rookie of the Year award, I believe, in 1970 with a batting average of 302. He was also a 7-time All-Star for the Yanks. Played 15 seasons for the Yankees. Also wore number 15. His locker room remains empty to this day, by the way. Thurman Munson's locker is empty. Lou Piniella, Rick Honeycutt 6, the pitch in play. It's a 32, and that's going to be in the out range. It's going to be a ground ball right back to Honeycutt. Honeycutt flips to Bochy, out number 2. And now it's Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, number 44, batting from the left side. Always dangerous here at Yankee Stadium. From the left to right field or to left field. Either or for Reggie, has power all the way around. And here's the pitch from Honeycutt. It's an 11. That's going to be in play. And that's a 30. In play 30 is going to be a line drive base hit single for Reggie Jackson. We're going to see if he steals. Now, Jackson is a 4 steal, so we're going to roll to see. No, it's a 9, so he does not attempt to steal. And the next batter is Roy White. And that's an 8. White batting from the right side. He's a switch hitter. And that's an 8, which is an in play. So we're going to look at in play on Roy White's card, an 80. That's going to take us outside the in play area into a fly ball to center field. Center fielder Rupert Jones runs it down for out number 3. We're at the top of the 9th. It's going to be Don Hood trying to complete the game versus Rupert Jones, the center fielder, Bruce Bochy, the first baseman, and Willie Horton, the DH. So Don Hood, lefty for the Yanks, facing Rupert Jones here in the top of the 9th inning. It's 1-0 Yanks. The only run coming off a Willie Randolph single that scored Fred Stanley with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch from Hood. It's a 3. That's tough. So it's a tough pitch. Let's see what Rupert can do with it. It's an 81, not much. It's going to be a fly ball to center field, and Bobby Mercer pounds the glove, puts it away. Next is Bruce Bochy. He's hit into a fielder's choice, struck out, and grounded out. He's 0 for 3. The pitch from Hood, it's 5. That's patient. Bruce Bochy. That's a 66. So a patient 66 is going to be an outrange. I mean, grounded short. Bucky Dent throws out Bochy by a step. 2 away. Here in the top of the 9th, Don Hood pitching a 3-hitter. Masterful. Willie Horton, good power. He's 134, 1-34 if it's a wheelhouse for a home run for Willie Horton versus left-handers. And that's a 7. That's going to be in play. So we're looking at 1-27 for a hit to keep this going. It's a 47, and it won't be. It's a pop-up to the right side. Sorry, to the left side. And it's Bucky Dent calling for it. Makes the catch, and game's over. The Yankees win it. Munson and the Yankees win it by a score of 1-0. The only run coming from a single, an RBI single by Willie Randolph, the longtime Yankee second baseman. And he drove in Fred Stanley from second base. And the line score for the Mariners is 3 no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. 4 left on base. For the Yankees, it's 1 run, 7 hits, 0 errors, and 8 left on base. So a pretty easy game, pretty quick. I really love payoff pitch, and I love how how many times? I think I needed to look at charts. You see, when you use the fast action cards as the charts, you can see that right here. You really don't have to move charts along. You just pull a card, and it gives you. I think this gets it up to about 95% of card results. Okay, I think the cards themselves, the pitcher batter cards, gives you about 80. This gives you another 15, and I think you have about 5% off charts. I'm not a chart guy. I don't enjoy looking up charts. Some guys do, and that's fine. I just don't. So I try to find a system that doesn't do that. And this game went by pretty quick. It was a 1-0 pitching duel between Don Hood and Rick Honeycutt, the duel of the lefties, the duel of the southpaws, and the Yanks and Munson pull it out 1-0. They scored in the bottom of the 7th. It was a single by Willie Randolph. And Munson, he's got 9 games left, or 9 days left approximately, before his demise, his tragic demise in a Cessna Citation crash on August 2nd, 1979. Also known as, another nickname he had was Squatty Body. He started with the Yanks in 1968. He went to Kent State University. He was the first captain of the Yankees since Lou Gehrig. Had a .292 career batting average, and was the only Yankee ever to win the Rookie of the Year and the MVP award. So we're going to go to game 2 in a little bit. We're going to take a little break, a short break, and we're going to join the action somewhere midway, and we can continue with our memorial to the last 10 games played by Thurman Munson in 1979 using payoff pitch, and they're amazing cards, which I now put in these little sleeves, plastic sleeves. You can get those from very cheaply. They're the same size as baseball cards. I'm actually looking at a couple of sets of baseball cards for 1992. 91 and 92, there's a set of payoff pitch for 91, and I may play some games for that, but I have to look and see what type of thing I want to do. Got to find out what the project I can do, but I'd like to have the cards for 79. I got to look and see if they're available. And Dave got me, Demo Dave got me thinking about the cards and looking at the cards, and they're pretty cheap, and you can add them, and you can just kind of put them on the back so you can see the player. I don't know if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. I may do it, I may not do it. I may have them on the side, and I may do it for one little project and not do it for others. You know, it's just a fun, an added thing to just make it more exciting. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna say goodbye. Final score: Yankees 1, Mariners 0. First game of the Munson Memorial, 1979 Munson Memorial. Take care, guys.